Place. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Ryan Stick Show. This is the Bathrobe and Glasses edition, in which I no longer give a shit what I look like. It is reminiscent of a look I had all through March and April when I wasn't, dolling up to be on camera for an hour once a week. But today is going to be a raw, honest broadcast where we talk about guests that are coming up and the hell of crazy productions we're going to be putting into that. We're going to be drinking a little wine and we're going to be having a good time. So later up on the show, in 2 weeks from now, I just like to say now, and I'll keep mentioning it. If you are a fan of the Monster Squad, I have a hell of a treat for you. If you're a fan of the Monster Squad, in 2 weeks' time on October 1st, we have not one, but two guests of that original cast coming on the show talking to us live. And that's kind of fun because you, the audience, recommend questions and they will answer them. So if you ever want to know stuff about the Monster Squad, we have, Yannick's there, bud. Wolfman's got nards. It's true. We're going to be talking about that documentary, but we got Andre Gower and Ryan Lambert, who played Rudy. So we got Sean. Guys, just real monsters, you assholes. And Rudy, you dropped your candy bar, EJ. It's going to be amazing. So in 2 weeks' time, we're going to be doing a lot of preparation and stuff like that. Both me and Melissa are going to be hosting it. And Ryan Lambert was one of Melissa's childhood crushes, so this is going to be kind of interesting. We're going to see how that goes. People are messaging me. Jason Rockman's messaging me. Jason Rockman's calling from Shome. I'm going to have to not wait. I'm going to pick up the phone on the internet. This is going to be meta. Hey, dude.
Are you doing your show?
Yeah, I'm doing my show.
Oh, so that I should leave you the fuck alone.
No, dude. This is the first time you're on my show. I want you to be a guest on my show. A real rad dude like Jason Rockman.
I'll be on your show anytime you want, man.
Well, unfortunately, I'm always live when you're working. So, yeah.
Okay, well, I sent you an email.
Awesome. Oh, some good stuff. Rockman has a secret project coming up. Do you want to talk about your secret project?
Can't say it to anybody, but when it's done and you're done editing it, we'll definitely talk to everybody about it.
There you go. Secret Rockman project. He's growing a giant spider in his basement that is roboticized, and he's going to take over a city with it. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be a really bad ending to an It book.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's gonna be that ending that everyone gets mad at, no matter what decade that movie's in. It's always a letdown. As soon as you realize Pennywise is an alien, it's like, yeah.
Okay, the only thing I don't like right now is there's documented proof that I'm not working right now.
Okay, there you go. Oh, no one watches the show. Don't worry about it. All right, bye. Yep, there you go. Our first guest. So the Ryan Stick Show, the bathrobe and glasses edition while sipping a bit of wine shall continue. We have some breaking news, everybody. Marvel has casted a She-Hulk. And it's pretty rad news. And her name is Tatiana Maslany. I hope that's how you pronounce it. I am terrible with names, but that's pretty amazing. She's going to be playing Jennifer Walters, a.k.a. Bruce Banner's cousin, a.k.a. the She-Hulk. It's going to be on a Disney Plus series, an original series, and that's pretty rad. They've been talking about this kind of stuff. I believe they've been flirting with the idea of making a Moon Knight show as well. And for those of you, if you don't know who Moon Knight is, it's that he's kind of like Batman, but he's crazy, like a total nutcase. And if Batman had multiple personalities and Moon Knight was one of them, or Batman was one of them, that would be the show. And it's just sometimes he's rich, sometimes he's a cab driver. So you could say sometimes he's American Psycho, and sometimes he's crazy stuff. I was trying to think of that, Rob. Sometimes he's taxi driver. There you go. So, we're not going to be going on too long tonight, everybody, because it's been a hell of a work week. And yours truly is working on a few very cool things at the same time, but they require a lot of man hours. And from doing nothing for months, there was some stuff, there was some broadcasts, there's some work every now and then, but not like a full-time schedule. So from going to that to aggressively going into a schedule has been kind of an interesting thing, because it's like, be careful what you wish for. You're like, oh, I want something to do, and then they're like, fine, here, do it all. And you're like, whoa, that's a lot of doing. Yeah, but very glad it's happening. You know what? They say if you like what you do, you never work a day in your life. And I wake up and I work until I can't stay awake anymore, and then I go to sleep and I wake up and I feel good because it feels very validating to work with all these muscles that aren't hard for me to use. I gotta say, when it comes to editing, yeah, it takes a lot of imagination and stuff like that. But I've worked jobs that I wasn't supposed to do, and 3 hours on that job felt like 19. So goes to show we don't all have the luxury to be able to do that. So that's why I'm clarifying right now that I am not complaining about my schedule at all. I just need to get tough again because I think I was pretty tough before this pandemic made me into a doughy, lazy jackass. But who cries too easily? But yeah, I don't know, getting tougher, man. And that's why I'm saying it live right now, because it's almost like it's a testimonial of your mental state at that time. Because it's like you gotta be you want to entertain the troops, man. When everyone's going through all the shit, you want to be the clown and make people smile. But now everyone's happy again. I'm like, okay, everybody, here's my baggage. Please check it at the gate. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, let's talk some fun stuff. If you have any comments below about rad movies or TV shows you have been watching, let me know. I know that Lovecraft Country is a hell of a show that I need to see more of, and I saw half the first episode and it was great stuff, but I realized I'm not really paying attention to it, and I should. So if I watch this television show, I want to be all in, obviously, and I think that's the way to go. Sorry about that. Let's look for the news. Oh man, is Alan LeGros watching? That'd be pretty amazing. I love Alan LeGros. He's a good guy. Me and him fought in Nam. Not at all, actually, but it'd be cool if we did. Yeah. So in the world of news, Bill and Ted. If you haven't seen Bill and Ted Face the Music, that's a really rad dip in nostalgia. Lower Decks. Lower Decks. Oh, here's a movie. The Pool was a fun little movie on Shudder. I got to check that out. Alan has checked out a show called Raised by Wolves, and he has been telling me wonderful, great stuff. Now, you know what? I am in no position to review a show I haven't seen. But what do you think, Alan boy? Do you think you got the nards? The Wolfman's got nards to call in this show and tell me all about this Raised by Wolves television show? Because your mug's going to be on camera. I'm going to tell you that. But if you have the nards, and the Wolfman's got nards, it's an all-star, hang out in your bathrobe, sipping your wine, who gives a shit show tonight. And in that spirit, I think we should have as many guests as possible. Some good friends giving smiles, trading stories, and telling each other about rad things to watch, like the new episodes of The Boys, which I believe episode 5 drops tomorrow. And it's crazy because Melissa, who is not used to watching every superhero show and is not desensitized by massive amounts of violence like the rest of us have by watching horror movies for our entire lives. It's really fun to show Melissa stuff. Oops. And and watch her react almost with childlike fascination. So in the first episode, when Robin gets run over by A-Train or run through by A-Train, and Huey's just holding a pair of hands, her reaction to it was absolutely beautiful. It was just killer. I guess Alan. Oh, and Huey's played by what's his name? Jack Quaid, which is Meg Ryan and Dennis Quaid's son. So that's the star, one of the stars of The Boys, and of course, good old Carl Urban, who's played by Billy Butcher, who's like, "Well, all gonna tell you the way it is, and maybe it is, and maybe it won't." And he's just awesome. I don't know. Watching The Boys is like putting on a nice pair of comfortable yet dirty and raunchy underwear. And you're like, oh, I shouldn't be. I hope no one sees me wearing these. But yeah, I don't know. I like The Boys a lot, and a lot of people are complaining about it being a bi-weekly format where you just like get to see people see the show once a week, and people are a little bummed about that. But honestly, I'm not bummed about it. I think it's rad. I think it's cool, and I think it's nice to wait for something. Honestly, I think you can once you get everything. Like there's a show called Upload, and I saw it a few weeks ago. Every episode was already on the air. I saw it all, and then it kind of goes away, and there's no conversation after that. Like conversation is, hey dude, you see Upload? And you're like, yeah. And then you're like, yeah, that scene, right? And you're like, yeah. But what if you had that conversation every single week with somebody? That'd be really fun. Like that was the water cooler talk back in the day. That's how shows became a phenomenon. Like because everyone watched it every week, and they would build like a community, a viewership around these people having these conversations, expressing their fandom for it. But when you get it all at once, and it's kind of funny, like people always say, they're like, oh, with Daredevil, yeah, there's like 13 episodes, 3 too many. And you're like, yeah, well, if you watched it once a week, you would have sucked the dick out of every fucking minute you got. So hey, we got a special guest here. We got Alan LeGros.
What's up?
What's up, homie?
Not much, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. Hey, tell everybody about this show called Raised by Wolves.
Ridley Scott, fantastic show.
Yeah.
Multiple layers, very, very current with some of the things that it represents. Lots of interesting takes on things. Without spoiling it, colonizing the future with androids and religious people. So that's basically what it goes on to. But there's so many layers to it. It's fantastic. You don't know whether to hate the main character or love the main character multiple times in the first episode. That's how twisted this show is. It's fantastic.
Oh man, I gotta see that. That sounds like just. But I'm gonna reward myself because I got another like crazy 2 weeks to finish a few things, and then like in life, you reward yourself for a hard day's work. So I'm looking forward to watching that. I'm looking forward to watching Lovecraft Country. I'm looking forward to watching great shows that are the best consumed while sitting completely still, almost in like a cathartic. I don't know the word. In an almost docile state while consuming media.
Semi-coma.
Yeah, like a semi-coma, but you're conscious and your eyes are pried open like in Clockwork Orange.
No, absolutely. I really recommend this one. He let me down for Prometheus, and but he's made up for it now.
What about Alien Covenant? And that sucked too.
Yeah, it was not. They took it in another direction, trying to show you how aliens were made. It just doesn't fit with any timeline that we know.
Well, I gotta tell you, I've been dating a vegan for almost 10 years. Not like I met her 10 years ago, and I know how a hot dog's made, and it doesn't make you like the hot dog more. I gotta tell you. So watching Prometheus to me is like kind of like watching the butcher shop sequence of how a hot dog's made in slow motion, and I paid $11 for it.
Yeah, you've seen it, right? You've seen Prometheus? Did you see Covenant?
No. I my sixth sense kicked in, and I said, you know what? The last time I stuck my dick in this fucking like socket, in this electrical socket, it burned the shit out of me. Maybe I shouldn't do this again.
It's been out for a long time, so this isn't spoilers, and if it is, too bad, people. But basically, they took the new android and made him a quasi-alien geneticist who was they went back to the planet, of the founders dropped the bombs, like dropped all the bio stuff.
Yeah.
And he tweaked it, and he made them more special so that they developed into the or a closer approximation to the aliens we know. Except in the timeline they've already established, how do aliens get hunted in an ancient pyramid under the Arctic if we haven't made them till we invent androids in the future?
Now that's the kind of comment that can cross a man's eyes. But yeah, no, you got a point there. But are we gonna really take Alien versus Predator as like some solid lore?
I don't know now. Have you seen the new Predators? The new The Predator, the one that just came out a little while ago, a couple of years ago.
Yes, I saw a movie.
They unfortunately etched it into canon because when the scientist goes into the facility, she sees a weapons display, and it includes the weapons that were used in Aliens versus Predator, the first one. So it's like, oh crap! So we kind of do have to pay attention now.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think it's funny. I think it's all funny. It's like whatever. Here we are, like living. This is what amuses me to no end. Is that we have been hiding in our homes for 6 months, and I'm not even exaggerating. It's literally been 6 months. Yet we still have the need to shit on movies we don't like. Like our standards of what a good and bad day is has not changed at all. It doesn't matter how bad.
To be fair, the only thing this has done is give me more time to look back and shit on them again.
I know.
No,
like we should be happy that we see any movie at all. It's like, there's fucking riots, there's all this other shit, and we're just like, you're like, that Alien movie though sucked, and I'm like, whatever. Ridley Scott is suffering from George Lucas syndrome. He keeps making prequels no one wants. And you know what? What is a prequel series you find that actually not only enriched the franchise we all know, a franchise we all know and love, but is superior to it? Like, is there such a thing? Like a prequel that actually is better? Because I know the show Hannibal is awesome, apparently, and everyone
Rise of the Lycans. Rise of the Lycans was good.
Okay.
Which
one is that from?
Oh God, just saw. I'll look it up. It's the one with the aliens versus the werewolves, or the vampires versus the werewolves.
Underworld.
Underworld, yeah. Rise of the Lycans was a good prequel.
Okay, there you go.
Because it took the characters and from the actual movie and gave them their own story. Right. So that was a decent prequel.
Cool. But it wasn't like better than the originals. What I'm saying is like, is there such a one where you're like, oh my God, all those movies sucked except that prequel? Oh my God.
I'm trying to think.
Like, is a prequel more greedy than a sequel? Like, is it? Because it seems like it. Because, you look at episodes 1, 2, and 3. And even though our homies in episode 2, it really in general they were made not like out of curiosity, but also because of some money. But the fans were kind of asking for it. But then you look at Lord of the Rings and like they stretched The Hobbit, which is an easy 2:30, into like 6 hours of nonsense.
But that was a necessary prequel.
Yeah,
because that's how a lot of us who got into Lord of the Rings got into it, was reading The Hobbit.
Yeah, but you would have never stepped farther if The Hobbit was like 3,000 pages long and full of all that extra stuff.
No, but I'm also from the old school where I had that horrible anime / cartoon half real life Hobbit thing they did in the 70s.
Travis James has brought up Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. You know what, Travis? You have changed me for the better.
I feel bad. I haven't watched it.
Oh my God, Better Call Saul is amazing. Well, you know what? It's not better though. It's not better than I wouldn't say it's better than Breaking Bad, but it's definitely amazing and stands on its own. And really, even though it's connected, it really does feel like the same universe. and it's a fantastic series, and that character is just awesome.
I got one that you'll appreciate. The Bumblebee movie.
You know what? I like the Bumblebee movie a lot, and a
Better
lot of
than the Transformers series. It was the best by far.
and a lot of my friends who like love action movies and shit are hating on the Transformers series. I'm like, dude, if you look at the first 10 minutes of Bumblebee when they're on the home world and you see all the characters like RC from Transformers the movie, you're like, oh man, no, this is rad.
Yep.
But it made the Transformers more important and not these disposable, you'll break in a second, who gives a shit type of characters.
Yeah. No, it's right. But for me, that one better prequel than the series, because it just felt like the series was a letdown after. And when you watched it, I watched the Transformers series first and then watched Bumblebee and went, why didn't they do this for all of them?
I just thought it was really cool that it's like there's two bad guys and they're dangerous. Kind of reminded me of Terminator 1, like much more kiddie. It's much more like a Short Circuit or Batteries Not Included, like buddy robot movie from the 80s. Like it really felt like that.
Yeah,
or early 90s. Something old school like that. And I was like, when I was watching it on a train coming back from like New York, and it was like 11-hour train ride. And I remember stopping the movie about 10 times and writing, why hasn't anyone told me that Bumblebee's actually good? You know?
Was my favorite Transformer growing up, that Beetle.
Yeah. But just my only criticism about that Transformers movie is she brings up her dad's dead like 15 times. And it's not like the editors are just kind of like, maybe they just had another person coming in every 20 minutes and they're like, all right, now you edit. It's like, oh, don't forget about, there's a Post-it note on the screen. Don't forget to mention her dad's dead.
Go back, cutting room floor.
Yeah.
No, there are very few prequels, and I mean, you have potential. You have so much potential with a prequel. If the story is captivating enough to an audience that they demand to know where these people came from, you could do so much. But they're often a letdown. You know, like talk about TV series, Gotham, leading up to what made Batman. Like we all know what happened.
Yeah.
But we don't know that missing gap. When we know he's a kid, then he's the Dark Knight. What happened in between? Gotham was supposed to fix that.
Yeah. Well, it's also supposed to be like a super serious police procedural type of show. And then by season 2, and then Jada Pinkett Smith shows up on set, you know, the biggest star, you know, established star, huge star, and everyone else is an unknown except Ben McKenzie and Marina Backlund, but you know they're not like Jada Pinkett Smith popular. Nope. So Jada Pinkett Smith shows up and starts acting like she's in Batman Forever, and everyone's like, the thing about Gotham is you got to, and she's like, yes, Gotham, ooh. And everyone's just kind of like, yeah, whatever, fish, okay. And then by season 2, she's gone, but then everybody picks up her, you know, the scent of fish, if you will, and they're just, everybody is twirling their mustaches by season 2, and it's just funny how that show had such tonal problems because it really wanted to start, but you could really tell out of desperation to stay on the air, it just kept changing. And I find like streaming shows have less network notes, and that this is like one of those shows that just got strangled to death with network notes.
Yep. Like a lot of the DC stuff, I find that they overanalyze it so badly.
I'm so pissed at Titans season 2. Like, was that? I'm being honest right now because I don't care anymore. Like, no one's gonna cast me in these fucking shows. Whatever, dude. Cast me on Titans. Make me Purse Snatcher number 6. That Robin / Nightwing breaks his nose. I would die for that. That'd be great. But when it comes to Titans season 2, you could definitely tell like. There was just something about it, like the sauce was different. You know, the ingredient was. The first season I found was just like, yeah, we're Titans. We're pissed. We're violent. Fuck you. Literally. Fuck you, Batman. Fuck Batman. Then in season 2, it's just kind of like, I don't know. It turned into a little bit of like Party of 5. Like, I don't know.
There was some redeeming qualities.
There was.
But they lost me with the big bad fight.
Yeah. Oh, at the end, we're
Yeah.
like, oh, this fight's gonna be the fight, and it
Yeah.
lasts like 46 seconds. I'm like, that's not how you.
Yeah.
You ever finish a video game where the last boss is easier than the third boss, and you're like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just it didn't have it showed enormous potential, and it is exactly what happens when you get somebody who goes, "This is really really good." Oops, I'm just going to drop the ball.
Yeah.
When you think it's going to propel itself, and it
Yeah.
doesn't.
All right.
So
Everything's working, guys. But yo, my new girlfriend, her name's Yoko. She's got some crazy ideas. I think we should bring her in. Change things up.
Do you know what? I don't know if you've seen it yet. Stargirl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told you about it.
That's right. you and our friend Dave Harris also.
Okay. Oh, Dave Harris likes it. That's awesome, Dave. You're probably not going to see this, but I dig that you dig, man. That's awesome.
I watched Stargirl, and in the first episode, I went, "Why didn't they do even 1/10 of this with Titans?
Yeah.
If you had just given it that detail."
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who haven't seen it, it's really worth it. It's a CW tween hero thing, but it's still very, very good. And just the amount of effort they put into Stripe, right in the very first episode.
Oh yeah,
big honking robot CGI is right.
Oh my god, yeah,
but it was so well done. It's like you guys could have done this to the adult themed one, and it would have been so much further.
Yannick wrote a great comment that we're gonna get back on the prequel train, but I gotta say, what sold me on Stargirl is the second that you see Starman as Winger from Community, and you're like, yeah, get out of here, you're my sidekick. I'm just like, that's amazing, and it's a serious moment that is still funny, but it's showing you the show. It's like you're gonna see heroes die, but you're going to giggle about it. And I'm like, and DC, when they want to do that, they've done that so many times. Like Batman the Brave and the Bold is like this amazing cartoon that gives me such joy to watch. And Batman is super serious. Like he's a straight man. He does not crack a joke. Batman is not funny. Just the world is funny because he's fighting guys called Killer Quilt and Polka Dot Man or Captain Polka Dot and all this other strange, crazy stuff. And Catman, oh my God, Catman is so funny.
Or Mark Hamill is three or four different characters in this.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So DC knows her shit, and a great show that exemplifies how funny DC can be is Harley Quinn. Like that show is just amazing.
Yeah.
So DC had their hits and stuff like that. And Harley Quinn season 2 didn't miss a beat. It was great. Some sophomore efforts are totally validated, but it just sucks that Titans like changed so much because Doom Patrol, it didn't lose anything. Doom Patrol is great too. In fact, if anything, it was more coherent.
Yeah, season 2 was spot on too.
Yeah,
kept the momentum going. Really made you want to. Well, I mean, nothing tops the donkey fart.
Yeah,
in the first you really got to watch that. Nothing beats that for me. As do I really want to watch this show? Fucking right, I do. They ended it with a donkey fart, and it opened up a wormhole. Like
Pepe is mentioning actor, in Stargirl, actors that can act better than Arrow and the Flash. But here's the thing: it's like Stephen Amell and Grant Gustin were unknowns before they were given starring roles. They're in every scene. They're working 10 hours a day, all these weeks and stuff. Their schedule is fucking nuts. And I'm sure Luke Wilson must have been like getting used to being in a TV show because that, he's not in every scene, but Grant Gustin is, and it's crazy the mental stress and all that stuff. Like I saw that Stephen Amell, like he was on this interview after he finished, and he was on the ID10T, formerly the Nerdist podcast, and they actually had to stop because he was having a panic attack because he had been working for 7 years as a lead on a show in every scene, and is just so tired and can't comprehend it.
And for Stargirl, they don't take it as serious. Arrow and the Flash were serious productions.
Yeah, you got to be miserable the whole time.
Yeah, Stargirl, there's a little bit more fun to it, a little bit more upbeat with the dark. So that and it's tweens, so they can't really lean so heavily on the content with people. But I mean, they do touch on some good things.
I love about Stargirl the most though is that it leans into DC's golden age of forgotten characters like Doctor Fate and Sandman and
Yeah.
Doctor Midnight. Like, who the fuck is Doctor Midnight? Well, I know now.
Yep.
Voiced by that guy, the kid from ET, by the way. Doctor
Oh,
Midnight
really?
in the goggles.
Yeah.
It's Elliot from ET.
Oh, sweet. I didn't realize that.
I know. Isn't that nuts?
Wow.
That guy is just killing it, man. He's got Haunting of Hill House, got this. Oh, and Haunting of Blythe Manor is coming up in like 2 weeks, I think.
Very soon indeed.
And an Adam Sandler movie called something Halloween, like a Blythe Halloween or something. But
now, you like
movie.
the trailer? You've seen the trailer, right?
Yeah, it's great.
It remind you of Ernest Scared Stupid.
It does remind me of Ernest Scared Stupid. It's going to be a class. It's going to be. You could already tell. It's like, yeah, Adam Sandler does this thing, and like I said, Adam Sandler, you want to beat the shit out of me in one of your movies, I'm in. I just want to be punched by everybody I admire. Yeah, like with that, the thing that struck me about this Adam Sandler movie is like, yes, there's going to be some humor where someone's going to get hit in the balls. He's going to speak in a funny voice. That's whatever. But to make a truly good Halloween movie and appreciate the aesthetic of creating an entire town, the look of it. I mean, Ernest Scared Stupid had that down. Hocus Pocus had that down. One of my favorite movies ever that I'm wearing a shirt of. Trick or Treat has that down. When your production designers know how to fucking make a Halloween movie, I love that. Because no offense, Jamie Lee Curtis and all that stuff. And no offense, Michael Myers. Imagine Mike Myers just overdubbing the movie Halloween, going like, "Hey, baby." Anyway. The movie Halloween, if you took out the pumpkin shot in the beginning and Michael Myers wearing a mask, that movie could have been called Arbor Day.
Yeah.
And I love Halloween, don't get me wrong, but it's not essentially like a Halloween as fuck movie. But all these other movies we're talking about, holy shit, they are. And I think that Adam Sandler movie is like really like, if you look at the look of it, it's not just phoned in Halloween. This is some serious people who take October seriously, and that's awesome.
With some serious star power too. He's got some quality comedians lined up in that.
Yeah,
parts and actors and stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a good one to watch, as opposed to what is it, the Babysitter Killer that was on Netflix, and they just released the one before it.
Oh, you know what? The Babysitter was an awesome movie though, but
it was funny.
But like in all horror sequels, when they make a horror movie, they're just kind of like, why not?
Yeah. There was some interesting moments in it. It made me laugh.
I haven't seen it yet, man. I gotta check it out. Like, I sound like my friend Rob, God rest his soul. He's like, I'm busy. I don't know. Look, and I'm just like,
well, you have been fairly busy lately, so
yeah. But I want to see this kind of stuff, and like with the Babysitter, like 2. I can't remember what it's called, but I don't know. That seems like a movie to put on after a few drinks and just like, whatever, fuck.
Oh yeah, because you're not thinking. It is not Lovecraft Country, like you said earlier. It is
like I said, yeah. But my love of everything, like I love crap and I love serious, crazy shit, and I like dark, weird, pretentious, long things that don't make any sense. I like it all, but I know myself enough to be like, okay, today is one of those days, and today is one of those days. And when I feel like just watching Family Guy, but out of schedule obligation, I end up watching something like a slow burn. The slow burn will seem slower. Sometimes
I was guilty of that. I was playing Diablo 3 with my kids, and I had put on Lovecraft Country on my earphones so I could listen to it, thinking I was going to pick it up, and it was like episode 2 or 3, and I stopped playing, and I was listening, and I'm like, what? And I'm looking at my screen going, oh my god, like, okay, I gotta put this down. I need to go back and watch it again.
There's a Leviathan on screen. I should pay attention to this.
It's one of those Lovecraft Country, because you saw a little bit of the first episode.
The brilliance of that show, by the way, is that they show you everything right away, so that the fact you have to wait for it to come back is okay, because you saw how far they're willing to go immediately. You know,
Yeah.
it's not ambiguous. You're like, here's
No.
here's a Cthulhu. Here it
Yeah.
is. Here's
Yeah.
alien spaceships.
Yeah,
Bring it.
Yeah, no, exactly. And they started it out, but then they bring you back into real world and they show you a real serious drama that was going on. Being black in the 1950s, walking around America, how they're being treated, like their life is very real. So it almost becomes a historical reenactment of what was going on. And then you slide this supernatural undertone into it all, and you're just going, there's so much. It's like an onion, so many layers.
There's you ever see Castle Rock?
Don't think so.
No, that's a show about like living in a Stephen King town where Shawshank Prison is a real place.
Oh boy.
And a bunch of other things happen, and like hey, Jen Raby saying, "Hey boys." I haven't seen Jen in forever.
I know, me neither. She's
And
got a new place. Congratulations.
And it's not just because the world has cooties, like, you know, it's just she's been busy, we've been busy. Everybody, a big shout out to Jen Raby. She has a show called What's on the Shelf, and if anyone knows the business of what's going on with all the sweet board games, it's definitely Jen Raby.
Yep.
And she's got a heart of gold and a lot of talent, and she's not selfish about it.
She's
Great.
a sweetheart. Miss her.
I'm sending her
just like you. I'm like stuck in it.
Yeah, I'm sending her a request to join in case she wants to come hang out.
Yeah, I'm joining the party.
Okay, so getting back to this prequel bandwagon, Yannick, my friend, has 500 movies.
Yeah,
I've been to his house. It would make a blockbuster blush. Like how much horror and action and comedies he has. He has fucking 500 movies. And he just said, I looked through my wall of films and can't find a prequel that is better than the original. If that is not a testament, film-wise, I don't think they've ever done it. I don't think they ever made a prequel.
True to form. As a Star Wars fan, those 3 that came before the original trilogy just didn't do it. You know, they're all the stuff that we know that is out there. I mean, again, they have such potential. You can do it, but there's nothing. They have not done it yet.
Yeah, well, I keep hearing about things where things could have happened and then they didn't, and it's like I heard this crazy thing about John Boyega. John Bodega. He played Finn in episodes 7, 8, and 9. And he kind of was going off on Disney the other day saying like, well, they don't know how to treat diversity. And really Finn didn't have a character in episodes 8 and 9. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. Because originally the guy who directed Jurassic World, he was going to make episode 9. And there was this concept art of Finn like leading a stormtrooper rebellion.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that would have been rad because, you know, the fact he's an ex-stormtrooper plays no part in anything else. After the first movie, really, you have all these ties to an army. You used to be the bad guy. What does that mean? Where can you go with this? How can you affect the story and what you could do with it? But it just seemed like a fish out of water because he's like, well, thanks, boss, for all the freedom. Now let's go fight. Where's Rey? I don't know where Rey is. And it makes you think, like, yeah, that is fucked up.
There was a few plot holes. There was a few lines of dialogue that didn't go anywhere. Like, what was Finn trying to tell Rey?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'll tell you later. Okay, they made a whole point.
Yeah.
Of playing against the characters with Poe going, well, why can't you tell it in front of me?
Oh, and that's it. There's no more Finn after him saying all that to Disney publicly. There's no more Finn. There's just Finn Wolfhard. They're gonna replace Finn with Finn Wolfhard, and it's gonna be a whole thing. But John Boyega is such a good actor, man. I saw him. Like, have you ever seen Attack the Block?
Yes.
Oh my god, it's so rad. Everybody out there, if you can, I believe it's on Amazon Prime. Check out Attack the Block. Just amazing. Aliens land in like pretty much a ghetto in England, and a bunch of like hoodlum kids fucking take them on. It's awesome.
That was a sleeper hit that nobody really knew about, and it popped out.
So amazing, though. Nick Frost is in it.
Yep. There's a few good ones, and that's. I was disappointed with how his character ended, but then again, I've told this to you. You have to. I don't like to criticize as much as it's not my story, so I didn't get to write it, and I understand that.
Mm.
But there's still some things as a fan I want to see resolved, and I really hate not having that closure.
Yeah, I might feel there, man.
Like Moss, the goggles. What's
Yeah.
her story? You know what's going on there?
Yeah, she goes off with Billy D, I think.
Yeah, she knows everybody. She knows Luke. She knows all the key players. What's
Yeah.
her, you know,
What's her story? Well, I think a big mistake they made in the Star Wars trilogy. It's like I like Laura Dern like the rest of the people, but when you bring in this character that nobody knows, give them minimal screen time, and then they heroically sacrifice themselves, they're like, yeah, who gives a shit? Fuck 'em.
another dead body. Yeah.
What? Another dead body. Yeah, fuck purple hair. I don't care. But if General Grievous, let's say, you know, because he just dies off screen, and he is a war hero from Return of the Jedi. And yeah, he looks a little weird, but that doesn't mean he doesn't deserve a better death than just some off-screen shit. So if it's just be like, let's say he's the only one on the fucking Star Destroyer, right? Or he's aiming to go through the Star Destroyer at light speed, which is a badass scene, by the way. Like, amazing. Going through, I was like, oh my God. But then later I'm thinking, but did it have to be purple hair? You know? But did it have to be what's her name, you know, who just came on the scene? So I'm like thinking, imagine, so like, you know, they turn the ship around, stuff like that. And then the Empire's like, what the hell is he doing? Because they're all British. What the hell is he doing? So anyway, he pushes the button and the comlink opens up and they're like, what? Who are you? What is this? And then you just see Grievous go, it's a trap. Boom.
Babu. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Saves the day. No, that's why I'm happy about The Mandalorian, which is coming season 2 very soon.
Oh yeah, fuck
because
yeah.
They can play with characters that dropped out of the main story in that and let you see it. But there's too many franchises where those things happen. Where it's just like, oh, I'm really into this guy, and he's gone.
Yeah, I feel you, man. Look, man, I'll be honest, and this is after all the Star Wars that's happened for the last 5-6 years, maybe 7. I don't fucking remember. I'm old. I'll tell you something interesting about Star Wars and all that shit is that I only like The Mandalorian and Rogue One. That's it.
Yep.
Like really, that's it. I don't like episode 7. I don't like episode 8. I don't really like episode 9. I don't like any of them. I'm just like, I like them okay. They did what they had to do when I smiled in a theater, but I haven't popped them on 6 times. You know what I mean? But The Mandalorian and Rogue One, I walked out feeling feeling validated as a Star Wars fan to begin with.
Yeah.
But whatever. I don't know. It's pandemic. I should shut the fuck up. Who cares?
Could be worse. Could be the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four was one of the second iteration, well, third iteration, if you really want to be a prick about it. The Fantastic Four is one of the worst viewing experiences in my life.
I've tried to redeem it. Like, listen, you're talking to the guy who watched Battlefield Earth more than once.
Oh wow!
You know, because they're based on a really good book series and stuff. So I enjoyed the thoughts behind it. The acting, not so much, but the thoughts behind it really worked. And I watched it, and I redeemed it enough in my own head to be like, okay, this is a unique story.
Yeah,
it was told the way they could at the time.
Yeah,
and they did what they could. And then, but I've watched things since and go, no, I can't do it. As much as I tried Fantastic Four, I don't think I've watched it, aside from the first time, I don't think I've watched it a solid second time or a solid third. I watched it a second and third and fourth and fifth time, but I don't really actually put them all together because I was just so bored with it.
Oh my God. The thing about that movie that is hilarious to me is that I listened to Josh Trank do like a 3-part interview on Kevin Smith's Fat Man on Batman. and him talking about how much he loves this movie. It's going to be amazing. It's like Alien. And I was so pumped that I told Big Dave, we're like, dude, it's playing late tonight. It's Thursday. Yeah, we both have to get up in the morning, but let's go do this, man. I heard on the podcast it's going to be fucking awesome. And then we go and we see that, and I just felt, and then sure enough, a tweet comes out saying, if they would have let me make the movie, I wish they would have let me make the movie I wanted to make or whatever. And I'm just kind of like, that's not what you fucking said in 2.5 hours on that fucking podcast, asshole.
I feel that that's the cop out now. Is just be like, oh, it wasn't me. It was totally the studio's fault. You know?
It was the studio. And then you hear all these horror stories.
Snyder Cut, and now the Snyder Cut has its own name. That's the last article I read on that. I have to find that somewhere for you. But they've retitled the Snyder Cut for Justice League.
What? Justice League? Justice Sneak?
Martha's Part 2. I don't know.
Yeah, Martha's Vineyard.
Martha Strikes Back. There's a few of those ones like Fantastic. The last X-Men. I watched it. I can't remember a fucking thing about it. And
it feels very empty, man. Like Dark Phoenix, like we're talking about the death of Jean Grey. You should feel something. And it suffers from X-Men Part 3-isms. Part 3s are never good. Or Part 2s are always kind of good.
And they make that joke. That joke in the new series with the young class. They make that joke, and it's like, and you did it. You did exactly what you joked about.
I know, but it's funny. But with the new class, X-Men, the new class, like they really, at least they introduced like, hey, here's the colorful uniforms we were too embarrassed to give them in 1998 because we were scared of Batman and Robin, like, you know, bad mojo. So everybody is just in sexy Matrix outfits and shit. And
there's a question for you. What third movie of a trilogy can you think of that lived up to the rest of the?
Well, thinking of right away, I'm thinking of Captain America: The Civil War.
Yeah.
I would say Avengers: Infinity War.
Go older before Avengers have really well, but go older. I think Back
to the Future 3. That's a good one. Not RoboCop. Fuck, I had this conversation. We had this conversation a long time ago on this show, back when pandemic was really fucking crazy and everyone was scared. But people said really good shit. I'm trying to remember what it was, but there are amazing Part 3s. There really are, like there some super fucking seriously good ones. I like Halloween 3 a lot. This will get me killed. Like for any hardcore Mike Myers fans or Michael Myers fans, but Halloween 3 is really the only movie that needs to be Halloween for it to happen, because the corporation that makes the masks that kills all the kids, they need them to wear masks in the first place. And it wouldn't be Silver Shamrock wouldn't have any power at all had it not been for a night where people wear the masks and they can do all their crazy science Satanist shit. Yeah. So, you know, just saying everybody, you don't have to agree with me, but I'm just saying Halloween 3 is the most Halloween of all the Halloweens.
This is an opinion-based show. If you don't like the opinion.
Oh, God, I don't care. Whatever, fuck. Fan-based me. What are you going to do? Fuck, put on a mask and stab me? Like, fuck. Please don't.
Not until Halloween, full moon. No.
Yeah, please don't do that, though.
We'll give your life meaning. We'll make it.
Yeah, don't do that. I'm a bleeder. Anyway, man, Part 3, that's a good one. I'm trying to think of more.
Oh, there's been a few.
Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, true.
But I think only recently Part 3s have gone really good, because Part 3 started becoming a thing to make in a franchise where the idea is like, we're going to make 5 of them. So Part 3 wasn't like the last straw that it used to be in the 80s and 90s. Like Superman 3, like, oh God, just there's a lot of Part 3s that I am almost positive have given me serious mental, like physical ailments. Yeah, have caused me harm.
I mean, I liked Expendables 3, although that was not as action hero-ish as the other ones were for me. Because that, I mean, as a young action fan back when all of these guys were young enough to do anything,
Yeah.
that was a really good series to see all my heroes back on stage for one last time. And then you gave me Ronda Rousey and a bunch of people I don't know. So not as interested in it, but
Yeah.
there were still some good moments in it. But trying to think of other ones that stand out. And it's really hard to maybe it's the pandemic brain we've got.
Fuck this, man. I'm Googling this shit. One sec. Whatever. No one's watching anyway.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, okay. Best part threes. Best part threes in films.
Definitely wasn't Alien.
Nope, it's not going to be Godfather 3 either.
Nope.
But once again, all those part threes were made for the wrong reasons.
That's it. Keep the franchise alive.
People are very fond of Return of the King. Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
Yes, Return of the King was good. Armies wasn't for the Hobbit trilogy. Wasn't.
I really like Army of Darkness. I don't think it's better than part Evil Dead 2, but definitely something to it.
But I think I always thought of Army of Darkness as sort of a standalone film. Like, yes, it had Ash that we know, but it was sort of its own, like, standalone object for me.
Isn't Mission Impossible 3 better than part 2?
That the one with the Chimera virus?
It's the one with Seymour Hoffman. I'm gonna find you.
I suddenly don't remember.
I don't know. I've never seen any Mission Impossible movies except the first one. So, I'm not a big fan of Iron Man 3, but that's fine. Whatever. You know, gotta be. Return of the Jedi. I liked Return of the Jedi a lot when I was a kid.
But are you looking at it now? Is that really? I don't even know if you can call it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I feel you. I feel you there, man. I feel you there. Oh, Goldfinger, James Bond. That's a good one. Yeah.
It's this again series. There was more after that were just as good.
Return of the King. Toy Story 3. Toy Story 3 is fucking amazing.
Yeah, but is there anything that Pixar picks up that is bad? Like, listen,
that's true. Cars is a little bit of a.
Well, I have a rule around here that whenever Mom puts on Disney, Dad leaves the room because I don't want to look like a sobbing baby.
Really, you're a crier, huh?
With some of those things, I cannot watch some of those Pixar films without just being like, dust in my eye, damn it. You know, it's not my fault.
Amazing. Anyway, buddy.
I never watch WALL-E the same way again. My 10-year-old showed me a hypothesis where they're actually eating human flesh on the ship, and now I think of WALL-E as a cannibalistic nightmare.
I gotta check that out. Anyway, pal, it's been an hour. I think I've did my quote of the week, and I didn't want to not do a show this week. I wanted to say to myself, no matter how tired I am, I want to make sure I do a show because I can't let my mood rule my schedule. But Alan, thank you for calling in. You made this special. Bro. It's nice to see your face.
It's good to see you too, bro.
Yeah.
Good to see you too. We're all here doing the same thing, you know, trying to stay safe in this ever increasingly crazy time that we're in.
Fucking so crazy, man.
So
anyway, so I don't know. I don't think anyone's checking this out now, but they might later. Everybody, in 2 weeks' time, we're going to do a lot of promotion and do this right. We're going to have not one, but 2 cast members of the Monster Squad on the show, and we're going to have a nice, good old discussion with returning guest Andre Gower, who played Sean. But we also have Ryan Lambert, who played the badass Rudy. You know,
nice.
Melissa's high school crush. So it's going to be, you know, kind of interesting, you know, wiping her drool off and stuff. It's going to be good because he's aged very well.
That is good to know. I'm actually going to rewatch that again before your show.
Ah, so good, man. I fucking love the Monster Squad. Everybody who likes the Goonies, you gotta watch the Monster Squad too, because the Goonies is the mainstream. Like, like, yeah, you like the movie everyone else liked, oh, good for you. But if you want that garage band that did all the same shit and their songs are a little better, fucking watch the Monster Squad. Shit gets real.
Dude, and I was one of those kids that had like a book of monsters and
Yeah.
a book, who looked into that kind of stuff. It was fun back then.
Yeah. And I knew you too back then, but you're a little older than me, so you're pushing my cradle around, and we're fucking Wolfman up. It was awesome.
That's right, with the portal in the background, kicking, saying goodbye to Frankenstein.
Yeah, there we go. Spoilers. Anyway, all right, man.
All right, brother.
Alan, it's been fucking great, dude.
You have a good night, bro.
Thank you. Hey, everybody out there, we're all hanging up at the same time because I'm going to go to fucking bed. It's going to be awesome.
Good
Anyway,
night.
thank you for watching Ryan Six Show. I will be back next Thursday, and we are working on some guests. And one of them is a guy who goes to the conventions and is a costume maker, and his name's Andrew Sparalza, I believe his name is, and he is a prop maker who made a Batman costume for the show Titans, and recently has made the news because he or someone else leaked a photo of Batman standing with both Robins in a deleted scene from the season finale of Titans. And for me and you who are so annoyed about what happens in season 2, we're just thinking, when the fuck did that happen?
Why did they keep it?
Why didn't they show Batman? Why did they cast Batman as like a 69-year-old like old man? Well, there's so many questions to this. And why didn't that they keep it like that? That is so fucking cool. Jason Todd and Tim Drake standing behind a Batman about to kick some ass. The fuck happened? So I want to get this gentleman on the show, and I don't know. I want some fucking answer. He probably can't tell me any of this because of an NDA. But I can tell him, well, tell me about making the suit during that scene that, where what happened exactly, and maybe we'll let something slip.
Give us your notes.
Exactly. Nah, I'm not going to get him in trouble. He seems like a really good guy. Another guy I've been talking to, trying to get a guest on this show is, that movie, That Thing You Do?
Yes.
Well, the actors, they all played the instruments to the best of their ability, but everything except the singer. And the singer who sings That Thing You Do and all the other songs with this high, beautiful voice was this gentleman who did not get any credit in the linear notes of the film because they wanted to make the band seem more like a real band. But here's this legitimately talented guy who sang all these fucking songs, and frankly, nobody knows it. And I would love to have him on and have a bunch of Wonders and That Thing You Do fans, and let's just ask him about, let's validate this guy's fucking effort. Because if Hollywood isn't holding him up by his chair and chanting him around a room for the excellence of his voice, then we have to, goddammit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We'll show him what real fans are like.
Yes, exactly. We're fanatical. All right, pal.
Right, bro.
Give my best to the boys and give my best to Jen.
Will do.
All
Good
right.
night, bro.
Bye, buddy. All right, everybody. Have yourselves a good night. See you next week. Yeah, that's me. I'm dead. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for watching.